What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 93 of my Total Warhammer 3 Vlad and Isabella Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, 10,000 sentinels stood guard outside the Black Pyramid of Nagash, trying to keep the vampires out from accessing the dark magics within. Unfortunately for them, they did fail under the bombardment of Peter's artillery, as well as his graveguard that refused to give ground. 'Twas a very nice battle, and now we have the Black Pyramid of Nagash and are ready to continue the conquest of the deserts. Why are we continuing the conquest of the desert? It seems that there is a consensus and we are going to tell Arcan to go away. Mostly because we are at minus 96 vassalage and everyone in the world will either serve Vlad or be destroyed. He will be the one true emperor, not just of the empire, but of the entire world. So, with that in mind, we are going to be canceling Arcan's agreements with us. That will mean a loss of 2,000 gold per turn, which is a little bit unfortunate, but, well, we'll see. Hopefully this will mean we'll be able to get on good terms with most of the lizards. Maybe not Kroggar, as somebody pointed out that, well, he does hate us quite a lot. I do think that this is at least in part because of the fact that we're allied with Arcan. It seems like the biggest thing these guys don't like, in fact the only thing they don't like, is the fact that we're friendly with Arcan. Which, you know, to be fair, they are fighting with Arcan, so I'm hoping we can vassalize at least Talaqua down here, but, well, hopefully more. In fact, speaking of Talaqua, if we were to give them back Talaqua, we're only at minus 22 vassalage, which is pretty good, and it'll increase if we get friendlier with them, which should occur if we cancel our agreements. So, 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Now he's at minus 33 and getting lower. He might actually attack us, which actually wouldn't be such a bad thing. We'd probably lose a few territories to the sudden attack. But the thing is, I'd really rather not wait 10 turns to fight him. And frankly, he threw in his lot with Manny, and that should have been... well, that should have been a reason to kill him in the first place. And yeah, see, we were at minus 34, and now we're trending toward plus 74, which should make vassalage a lot easier with Tic Tac, and I do wonder what it'll do with Crocky as well. No, Crocky is still decreasing. You know, I really hate this panel here. It's so irritating that we don't know what he dislikes. He may not like our alliance with some other big faction. What about the ghosts? Alright, the Ghosts of Pahwak seem to be okay with all of this stuff, so they're probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, vassal goal that we have. I'd really, really want to vassalize them in particular, because I'd really prefer not to have to take all these southern chaos wastes. It's just, it's, ugh. Same reason that we're dealing with Norska in the way that we are. Anyway, soon there will be war with Arcan, but until there is, we can go ahead and take out the Greybeard's Prospectors. They, well, I hate them most out of all factions, and I have my reasons, which I've mentioned many a time already. I will remember their betrayal forever. I have it out for this one specific faction, for that one betrayal in my Tic-Tac-Toe campaign. And I guess it was a couple years ago now. Never forget. Alrighty, well anyway, let's skip the rest of this, and there's a commandment available here. Oh, you know what? These guys are our new vassal, but they can have Shang-Wu. And wow, they're willing to give us 21k for it, which is pretty nice. Do we want to take it from them, though? They are our vassal. You know what, I think while it would be nice to have all that money, I think I'd rather them just have it. And again, it is the AI and it is cheating, but 21k does seem like quite a lot. And we did, I guess that's some of the money that we paid them to be, yeah, you know what, this is just us taking back some of our money. Alright, fine. And at least we can, this way, use a little bit of it to build some stuff up. They have a full territory, and I'm sure they'll have plenty more money where that came from. Now we just have to crush the rest of the enemies out of the Mountains of Morn between our vassals. And we'll be good, plus village up north. Alright, looking pretty good in this portion of the world, at least. Now, we could build some buildings, that is very true, but I think maybe we just skip to the next turn and do it all at once next turn, or possibly pay somebody else for another vassalage. I am also looking at the Hexoadal lizards. Hopefully they don't fight us. The problem with them hating us is that as long as Big Bird is alive, Big Bird has the possibility of forcing us into a war with them. So we really need to get down here and destroy them, ideally, which is what Bathilda and Nicola were potentially going to go down to. But what looks like we'll be having a big fight shortly with the Where we rest up. Nah, it's fine. With the Lord Scroll Clan Pestilence Skaven. Anyway, here we go. End the turn. Let's see if they attack us or whether they try to run away. Raiding in the Tower of Torment, that's Bathilda, or not Bathilda, that's Ermaine raiding our own territory, which is appropriate, because it'll keep her nice and healed. Yeah, if Ermaine is unable to recruit a couple of Mortis Engines soon, we're going to build a new Lord just to ferry those Mortis Engines to her, because it's taking too long. Oh, Lord Scroll, now you want a peace treaty. You silly little rat. That's not going to happen. I do wonder if the Ghost of Pahwaks and the other lizard factions will enjoy the fact that we're attacking Clan Pestilence, because lore-wise, they really should. What is this? Oh, Karan is attacking with a force that is weak and guaranteed to lose. We could just auto-resolve. Really? Yeah, but it's a garrison force. Who cares? Who cares? Let him die. It's a waste of our time. We would win that without much problem. Alright, next up, and I interrupted myself. Yes, lore-wise, the lizards should really hate Clan Pestilence, and every time. A game doesn't want me to talk about that. This is also a waste of time. We'd even win this. We'd win this even easier. These are all Marauders. Yeah, it's a bigger army than ours, but Marauders are pathetic, and they'd get ripped apart by towers. Plus, since they lack armor, they'd even get ripped apart by skeletons. So, yeah. We've won many a battle like this as well. Auto-resolve. If this was Wolfric on a Mammoth, then yeah, we'd fight it, but no. Not right now. Oh, we got bigger fish to fry, and hello, what do we have here? Blizzard Peak, Charon of the Gore Hunt. Oh, you're actually going to attack Jacob Bachman. Oh, I like that. I do like that indeed. We did prepare this, and we were hoping to get just enough prep so that the enemy attacks us, which means we are going to fight this one. Oh, lovely. Cinematically, here we go.
Make it so.
Alrighty, well, let's see if Jacob can indeed make it so. We don't have a lot of fights with the Necromancers, and frankly, once again, it's been a little bit of a while since we've gotten one of these defense sort of battles with basic units, so I gotta say, I'm pretty darn excited. These are really fun, and I've been enjoying them throughout the campaign, and ooh, looks like we're fighting in the shadow of some Sky Titan Skykeep ruins. They're looking pretty big up there. Yeah, very nice. Very nice indeed. Alrighty, well, we're going to start the battle off by having our Blood Knights be the only unit that's separated from the rest of our army. The enemy reinforcements are deploying from one side of the map, so we are going to close off 3 of the entrances that are close to it, and we'll see which one they go to, but otherwise our Blood Knights by themselves should be able to take care of the enemy lord without too much trouble. And he gets knocked down, very nice. Wow, he is big. It's always very strange to see the lords when, because their size is increased. But yeah, those chaos steroids will do that to you. But still, damn, he's almost as big as a Blood Knight on a horse. Alrighty. I suppose it is a skeletal steed nonetheless, so it's probably a little bit smaller than a regular horse due to the lack of flesh, but nonetheless. Anyway, the Blood Knights unfortunately will not be able to get access to their anti-large bonuses here, but a single lord is something that they should be pretty adept at poking to death. Anyway. Speaking of poking to death, the enemy lord is now already below half HP. He has not yet managed to bring a single Blood Knight down either, so we're looking to be in pretty good shape here. He really should have deployed on the same side as his reinforcing army deployed, because at least that way... Ooh, he finally brings down one of the Blood Knights. You know, I feel like the Blood Knight's skeletal steeds shouldn't run away like normal horse behavior. Like, this is regular horse behavior. Rider dies, steed gallops away. It should probably crumble apart if the vampire dies. But anyway, while he did manage to bring one down, he is now broken, and the rest of the Blood Knights should be able to chase him down. So good job to them. And what happens if we click await reinforcements here? Does it just happen immediately? Await reinforcements. No, that... Oh, wait, what was the other option? End battle? It wasn't end battle, was it? Well, either way. We are awaiting reinforcements, and here they come. And let's see where exactly they're going to move into. And it looks like they're actually heading towards this direction rather than the original, which is a little bit unfortunate because we started building a 2,000 point tower here rather than over here. I don't know whether the AI... is doing that on purpose, whether it thinks that these units are closer and thus wants to go over here, even though this seems like a more direct path, but, well, whatever, we'll adapt. It would actually be better if they didn't split their forces. The more of the enemies blob up in one place, the better it's going to be for us. Anyway, we're going to summon a unit of zombies. I was thinking maybe we summon a unit and send them forward, and that will essentially bait the rest of the entire enemy army into attacking here, which is where we want to fight them, but it looks like they're not going to fall for it. Besides, the Marauder champions are more than sufficient to kill a unit of zombies by themselves. Probably not one of them will die. Well, actually, 2 of them will die, and something. But on the bright side, this will also tire them out. The Marauder champions are already very tired. Oh, and in fact, the entire army is very tired already, and because of the fact that I guess they march stance to help against this army. Well, I'm really glad that they do attack here, that they weren't too afraid of Jacob's army, which is fair. We don't have a lot of stuff in here. Now, we are going to have to reposition everything. Before, we had this portion holding almost all of our troops with a small amount on each side. Now everybody's going to move over here instead. On the bright side, that doesn't really change our... Oh, I really like the settlement. This doesn't really change our strategy because we still have the zombies out front, and their goal is still going to be to force all those very tired units into being exhausted, and then we'll commit our more elite troops. It also looks like the Blood Knights have finally taken care of the enemy lord, run him down, and then they're going to move up here, ready to flank the enemy and kill any elites as needed. They do have a decent amount of trolls and skin wolves after all, plus 2 werekin leading them, so some fairly scary units there. And the Blood Knights may be needed to help out with that. There we go. Here come those werekin. Oh, I just love sending zombies against enemies. It's just so fun. It's really a shame that we couldn't vassal, well, not vassalize, confederate Kelman and Gorst, because obviously, once again, that would have powered up our zombies, but oh well, what can you do? It also gives another reason to eventually fight another Vampire Counts campaign when it gets voted on next time, and I'm never gonna complain about fighting with or playing another Vampire Counts campaign. Alrighty, well, keep holding the ground. A few of those skeleton warriors are also interspersed between the units of zombies as well, but once again, the goal is just to exhaust all of these units. And all the while that is happening, we are gaining more and more supply, and soon we'll have a 2,000 point tower up here which can fire right into the middle of this. And there's also this tower right here which could probably fire, or at least close to it, when these guys have moved closer. So, frankly, not too bad of a tower setup in this particular map. I'm loving it. Alright, well, let's see what we've got going on back here. A Skinwolf unit and that Marauder champion unit that got distracted by those zombies are moving forward. We have kept one of our units of skeleton spears, however, with 2 units of zombies, so I think between that and this tower, attacking them. Even the Marauder Champions and the Skinwolves are just plain not going to break through. In addition to that, once these targets have been softened up a little bit, we've got Crypt Ghouls and Direwolves waiting in the back to hit them and chase them down. Also, once the Blood Knights are here, the Crypt Ghouls and the Dire Doggos and the Blood Knights can all hit these Marauder Hunters together with the help from the Bats, which we've also been keeping in reserve. Once again, most of our army at this point is in reserve. It's all zombies and a few skeleton warriors up front, with the goal of tiring the enemy out while the crypt horrors do some damage and provide some poison on top of all that. And of course our corpse carts are out front healing everybody up and also providing a little bit of magical imbuement because we have both types of corpse carts here. There's an Unholy Lodestone and the Balefire one. I love holding choke points like this with just infantry and no magics to essentially destroy our forces or the enemy forces. Just good old-fashioned, either they break through or we hold. And of course, we just keep summoning zombies. We have a lot of uses of Raise Dead. Unfortunately, we don't have any upgrades for it other than level 1, but that's fine. And should be plenty of zombies to continue getting in the enemy's way. On top of that, the tower is now starting to come up, so soon we'll have that to add to all this. The balance of power is still actually in the enemy's favor, because they have a lot of units here, but they are starting to take damage. As we can see, the enemy lord, though he isn't really in combat, has also dropped to about 60-ish, maybe 65% HP, and because Jacob Bachman here does have Spirit Leech, as he has Master of the Black Arts, so he can keep annoying the enemy lord while not actually being in combat. Alright, and a little bit of Troll and Weirkin and regular Skinwolf versus our Crypt Horror action here. But we just have way too many bodies between the enemy and getting through here. So frankly, I don't see it happening. I do notice that a lot of the monstrous infantry seem to... Oh, I just saw Skinwolf go down. A lot of the monstrous infantry has moved way out in front of the enemy infantry here, which is probably not a good thing, but the monstrous infantry do have a tendency to do that. And it's not a good thing for the enemy, because this means that the monstrous infantry aren't able to use the marauders as shields. Now, they will be able to break through further into our formation than the infantry would, by virtue of their mass and splash damage, but they will also take a lot more damage by virtue of not having those meat shields, and thus will go down eventually, and the Marauders alone will never break through. I also want to point out that this is all still skeleton warriors and zombies that are fighting with the corpse guard support. We got a little bit of spears as well on the flanks here, but they're not committed yet. And I'm pointing that out because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 full HP units of Graveguard waiting here with their fairly decent stats. So yeah, I don't see the enemy breaking through. Now we have the magic tower up as well on top of that, ready to fire into the middle of that. Still zombies left to summon and those full HP units. Plus we have some reinforcements that we could send in from the other side as well, as they will no longer be needed there. In fact, they've also managed to finally destroy that unit of Skinwolves, and it looks like these Marauder Champions are about to get brought down as well. The zombies starting to hit them in the back. They are surrounded. The endless hordes of the dead will overrun them. And this is one of the reasons I enjoy these basic battles as well. Like, this is what undead fights should look like. I know I've said that when we have had fights with a Waller's zombie horde before, but like smaller amount of elite enemy units just being absolutely overrun by endless amounts of zombies. Love it. Alrighty, while those guys are out, we chase down the Skinwolves with the Dire Wolves there, and now it'll soon be time to send the Bats in, together with the other fast movers, against those enemy Marauder Hunters with Javelins in the back. Also, the enemy is a little bit wasting those Marauder Hunters with Javelins. What the AI should have been doing is having those target our Corpse Carts and probably our Crypt Horrors as well. But first our Corpse Carts and then the others after. They are anti-large after all, those Marauder Hunters with Javelins, and that's a decent amount of range that they probably could have output into the Corpse Carts. Granted, we could have then moved the Corpse Carts back, but if they were sufficiently forced far enough away, and the enemy wouldn't have had access to or we wouldn't have had access to rigor mortis and stuff. Vigor mortis, rather. Rigor mortis is a different thing. Although I feel like now there should be like a technology named rigor mortis, but like, I don't know, like a research technology, something to do with the research, like academic rigor, but of the dead variety. Anyway, anyway, here come the bats and the blood knights and the dire wolves. The Blood Knights are actually going to stop by to kill a few units of Skin Wolves first, but then they're going to charge into those... No, they're not. There are Trolls and Skin Wolves running away from the enemy formation as well, which means a little bit more work for the Blood Knights. But that's just fine. As long as the enemy range is distracted, we don't care. And the Blood Knights will be able to at least apply their anti-large, finally, to chasing down those units. Otherwise, the enemy Lord, despite the fact that he hasn't reached our battle lines really... Well, actually, 175 zombie kills isn't too bad. Is now very badly damaged, once again just due to that Master of the Black Arts. Finally, the enemy are starting to clip onto our Graveguard, or not quite, almost there. The Graveguard are almost committed. We still see a few zombies and some skeleton warriors and spears on the sides before the enemy get there. Looks like the enemy are just getting to the Graveguard in the center, but we do have once again more zombies summoning. And all the while, those towers firing that splash attack right into the middle of the enemy infantry. Beautiful. And that looks pretty darn effective against the enemy zombies as well. Another unit of skeleton, this one an overcast, the first overcast raised dead we've done. And the reason I decided to do that is, as we can see, this is when the enemy decides to rout. The purpose of this summon is to just block the enemy and prevent them from running away, even as we converge the rest of our remaining forces in order to kill off the rest of them. Lovely. Well done, Jacob. We certainly took, 1,200 units lost, but almost all of them, I think, zombies and some skeleton warriors, so it certainly worked out. Enemy Lord is also trying to run away, and this is a level 12 Lord. I think this is their faction leader, in fact. But he's gonna be coming back, since I guess he's immortal, but he will be going down to these Blood Knights and those giant wolves. Otherwise, it's just a matter of chasing everybody down, but I think we've seen that enough times not to have to watch it here. Maybe one more shot from the tower. I want to see a splash attack right into those. Okay, that was way off, man. Come on. Well, maybe you shouldn't have followed somebody named the Gore Hunt into battle, because, well, he certainly brought a Gore Hunt, but not so much for you as against... Okay, it looks like that tower doesn't want to attack those enemies. That's fine. Let's just speed it up, kill the rest of those units, and we're looking pretty good. Since the enemy, I should say, doesn't have another army nearby, if we kill off the rest of these, the Dogan will no longer be of any kind of threat. It looks like the Werekin are gonna get out. Yeah, they have regeneration. There wasn't really any way we could hunt them down unless we sent our Blood Knights to chase those guys. But I felt like it was more important to keep the Blood Knights here, where they could kill more important targets. And especially since this was so close to the edge of the map. Oh, we did get this tower up, and oh, this tower was in range as well. So it could have helped fire as well. It just got built at the end there, but nice. If the battle had gone on, we would have had 2 splash damage 2,000 point towers firing into one blob. And it would be very nice. I really like this map. Well, I guess this map is really good if you're defending from this particular location. We've definitely played on this one before. I remember this interior and then holding here. But not every single entrance to the settlement is quite as good as that one. But anyway, a heroic victory for Jacob and the death of the Dogan's main army. Lovely. There we go, a nice little classic vampire counts defense where the enemy is just unable to break through piles and piles of trash skeleton and zombie units. We barely even had to commit our elites except to run around and catch things in the back. Certainly we still had 4 units of Graveguard that were basically at full that we could have put into the battle afterwards, even if the enemy managed to break through the remaining zombies and skeletons. And we had 3 towers that were 2,000 point towers up at this point. So we were just getting stronger and stronger in that sense, and the enemy was just getting weaker and weaker, regardless of the kills that they got on the zombies. Well, I guess there isn't much point in healing, but it's really the only decent option. So we're going to take that, and we're going to have Jacob run after any units that remain there. What is this? Oh, USAC. Okay, goodbye. Why do we have an Iron Curse icon? Oh, you don't have magical attacks. Or not an Iron Curse icon, a Hellish Bone Pennant. Now you have magical attacks, Frankie. There you go, and the Gleaming Pennant can go... Oh. You already have a Standard of Leadership. Okay, let's put it on one of the Necros. The Central Crypt Horror, maybe? I don't know. Ultimately not important. Do that. A little bit of damage, but I guess we can not really heal up, so we'll take the money. And then there's still a village to kill afterwards. Lovely. Alrighty, ally mission successful. Ooh, it feels like I haven't checked missions in a while. Oh, speaking of Iron Curse icons. Faction destroy USAC, Potion of Strength, yes. Income from post-battle loot for Renki, great. Kidnapper. And then, let's go to Diplomacy and double check our missions. Ah, we're out. Okay, well, a crying shame, but not a big deal. 54k, huh, so we lost 2,000... by virtue of the fact that we are no longer trading with Arcan. Ooh. We also got these things to consider. Tobaro is about to get attacked by King Simudes, and these guys might attack somewhere here, but they have a non-full stack, so unless it's full of hyper-elites, I doubt that they can accomplish anything. What I was saying was something up here. I always lose my train of thought with these things, damn it. Well, there's a lot of stuff happening up here, but, yeah, that's all great. Now, let's double check on Jacob. What are we looking at here? Alrighty, you still have to kill this guy. You should be able to auto-resolve him, and in fact, we're gonna... I mean, this is a temporary army, but we'll raise it for some usage. And just to take a few of these basic territories so that our Ghoul Kings don't have to deal with it. Because, well, they have better things to do, and actual armies to fight, and not clear trash out. So let's do that. Let's take out one of these zombie units like so, get a couple of ghouls in here, and maybe replace, let's say... What do we got here? We can raise 4 skeleton spears. Yeah, why not? Let's take out... No, I want to keep some zombies. Take out 4 of you. Let's raise 2 skeleton spears and 2 dire doggos. There we go. And then we'll use this army with the Unliving Host. We should probably get the Restless... you know what? No. Unliving Host powers it up a lot because of all the basic units in here. And then we'll use you to kill Calgakill. Kill's in his name, after all. Shouldn't name yourself Calgakill if you don't expect to get killed. And, ooh, we got a Screaming Banner out of it, one of the nicer pickups. Granted, 4 leadership isn't much, but when stacking with a lot of things, it's certainly one of the better banners. I'd prefer it, certainly, with an area of effect than getting the +7 leadership on our own, like Gleaming Pennant or Standard of Leadership or anything like that. Yeah. Heal up slightly. Alrighty, Calgakill has been killed. You've got Corpse Thief. Oh, I should have given you a Corpse Thief before you fought, actually. That was my bad. And then, Mr. Jacob, you can't get a Mortis Engine. Why is there such a problem with getting Mortis Engines lately? Damn. Well, let's send you up to the Challenge Stone to Dragon's Death. Hopefully you can take out the Dolgan before the Ghoul Kings get here. Huh. I'm actually even wondering whether they're needed. It really depends. If there's a full stack from Archaon coming in, and Archaon does have a full stack here. We need to defeat this, and you know what? Maybe we'll send one Ghoul King. One of the suggestions was to send the other by the sea to, I guess, attack Rakarth. And you know what? If we take some of Rakarth's territories and give them to these lizards, who still don't like us for some reason, they can then treaties with the Hunts Marshal's expedition, the Dread Fleet they don't like Eatane, Avalorn, and whatever. But whatever. Eatane isn't super happy with them either. Yeah, but that's really one of those annoying things about getting vassals. These guys were probably really friendly with each other, then they all quote-unquote broke their treaties by becoming our vassals, and then the game was like, yeah, so now they hate each other, which is kind of dumb. Actually, no kind of about it, it's just straight up dumb, but what can you do? Hopefully they fix it next time around, they take a look at all of these traits. So what I was saying was, we send one of the Ghoul Kings out to Rakarth via this one, and this path, for example, per the comment suggestion, and then have them start taking Rakarth's territories, trade a few of them to our lizard friends, and then hopefully the lizards will then ally with us. If we take Spectazuma, for example, which is going to be a tier 3 at least, because it looks like it's tier 4 and then moves down to tier 3 and then give it to these guys, plus money, maybe they'd be willing to vassalize. Minus 38 isn't so bad. In fact, if we were to join war against these two and give them a lot of money, yeah, we're down to 12. If we got a nice settlement, we could definitely have them vassalize. Though hopefully they don't recover their armies, and by then. Anyway, it looks like we're running out of time quite quickly. At least we don't have another. We don't have time for another cinematic battle. So I guess we will save Bathilda's fight against the forces of Lord Skrolk for next time. Though it looks like these guys decided to run away in various directions, separating themselves rather than taking Bathilda on. What I really regret not just sending out Bathilda by herself, because the enemy absolutely would have tried to fight her, thinking that she's weak, because of the way that the auto-resolve has been working lately. But oh well. Hopefully we can overcome that and catch them all without them getting too annoying, because they're moving out here, and it's unclear why. It looks like they're just doing this to run away from Bathilda, which frankly the AI should have learned to do so by now, but it is still a little bit irritating. Anyway, with that said, I am going to call the episode here. Next time, we have lots and lots of battles to choose from. Wilmar Barrackmere here, Dreadrock should be a very nice big battle for our newly commissioned Vanguard deployment force, though it can't get all, well, can't really make good use of its Vanguard deployment in Dreadrock, but it's still something. And then we have the Lord Skrolk stuff. We have these potential battles here where they're moving towards our coast. We have Vlad moving towards Be'lakor and all that's happening here, although it looks like the Isle of Wights has fallen to the Wood Elves, which is just fine. I have no intention of taking those territories. We have Yosk, who's moving near to the Nordland and these Skull Takers. I'd love for him to attack and kill all of them. Then we have Archaon versus Richard. We have Village versus the Ghouls and the destruction of Village's faction for good. Anyway, in short, or not so short, lots of battles to come. Stay tuned for more Vamps until the end. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.